Today I'm working on this Manitowoc Indigo NXT ice machine. Apparently it has a bad compressor. I did not diagnose it. I believe the person who diagnosed it, although I want to do my own diagnosis and see what is actually going on with the machine. All set up, clamp meter, gauges. I also have my chart pulled up to tell me what my pressures should be for the high side and the suction side during freeze. We're going to compare them. Let me click it on real quick, and as soon as the compressor starts, we'll start monitoring and seeing how long it takes the compressor to shut off, if it actually does shut off. Oh, and I did want to point out that that thing is creepy, and it's been staring at me the entire time I've been here. While we wait for this thing to start, I did want to point something out real quick. I also have my temperature sensors pulled up. If you can see, T4 is saying 248 degrees. T4 is bad, so we're going to ignore that. Compressor just started. We're pulling 20 amps. That's pretty high. Let's see what's going on with our pressures. Our pressures are really low. Suction side is pulling down almost to a vacuum. Now it's going back up. High side is about 275. Let's see what we're supposed to be at. Let's call it 70 in here. Low end is 280. For suction side, it should be between 70 and 36. That's really low. Could just be because we're in pre-chill. T2 and T1, inlet and outlet of the condenser. So going into the condenser, it's 113. Coming out, it's 88. Compressor is nice and hot. This is nice and cold. Suction line's nice and cold. Still pulling 19 amps. I do think that at some point in time, I want to check my capacitor, make sure the capacitor isn't causing the high amp draw. I was told that the compressor is bad. It is getting really hot, which is a sign that eventually it's going to shut off on internal overload. And the way you'll know whether or not the compressor overheated and went off on internal overload is you would disconnect the power, take off this cap, and you would measure between your start, run, and your common windings and see if it's open. The inlet temperature of the condenser keeps going up. That's the discharge gas coming from the compressor, which is super hot right now. And the compressor shakes a little bit. Oh, like right there. Okay, it just opened. Spiked to 33. The compressor kind of jolted a little bit and then shut off. So now we can check our windings. And yeah, that is very hot. Very, 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 very hot. I didn't really have any doubt about whether or not it was diagnosed properly. I just wanted to do my own checks. My notes didn't say what my amp draw was, didn't say what my pressure was, just simply said bad compressor, which, okay, cool, I can swap it out, but what if it doesn't work? When I replace the compressor, then I'll question myself and think, oh, was it diagnosed properly, or did I do something wrong? And this way I know for sure, okay, it is a compressor. As long as I replace it, then we'll be good to go. I'm going to do just one more thing before I for sure say it's a bad compressor. I'm going to check the capacitor, make sure that that's good to go, and then assuming that it's a good capacitor, I'm going to go ahead and complete this compressor replacement. I don't know for sure if this is the cause of my issue, but when I measure this capacitor, which is supposed to be a 50 microfarad capacitor, I'm getting zeros. I just so happen to have a backup one that I keep in case of situations like this, and it's the exact same part number. When I measure this one, I get all the way up to my 51, which is totally in range of its plus or minus of 6%. So this is dead, and I'm curious if this possible compressor swap out could have been just a bad capacitor. So I'm gonna put my used one in. I have to wait for the compressor to cool down and turn back on, but I'm hoping that this will solve my issue. Compressor is getting ready to start. I just put my replacement capacitor in there. It's actually worse than before. The compressor is not even turning. It's pulling 25 amps, and it's gonna go off on internal overload. I know it. So maybe the capacitor wasn't the issue, and we'll just press forward with the compressor replacement. Old one taken out, new one getting ready to go in. Let's see if we can get this thing to work. New compressor is installed, pulling the vacuum. Gonna wait till this gets to 500. Vacuum is pulled down well below our 500 microns. Time to get set up to charge. All set up to charge. We're doing R410A, 18 ounces, going through the filter dryer, not through the low side and not through the high side service port. There is a little tag here that says, do not charge here because you will damage the compressor. So I'm going to be charging from that side, simply closing this off, and then I can shut off my vacuum. Shut that guy off. Shut that guy off. We are zeroed out. I can leave that open this guy, and then open up this one and wait till this gets to 18 ounces. There you go. 1 pound, 2 ounces. Now I'm gonna fire up the machine, close off the high side, pull the remainder through the low side, see how we work. I will be connecting my clamp meter to see what the difference in my amp draw is. Compressor is about to start. Let's see what we get. Amp draw 26 at startup, drop down to 3.8. It should go back up, but that is way better than what we were looking at before. I'm gonna close this one, and then I'm gonna pull the refrigerant out of this line through the section side, metering it very, 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 very slowly. I don't want it to slug the compressor. So I'm happy with the way my pressures are looking. We're at about 65 and then almost 325. Those are all both in range. It's a little bit warmer in here now than it was. I'm gonna go ahead and close off this hose over here, suck in the rest of my refrigerant through the suction side, and then get all my gauges out of the way. This machine is dripping water now, so this first batch is probably gonna be all jacked up. It might end up running out of water, so I'll have to get in there, fix that to really get a good gauge of whether or not this thing is gonna make ice. And we're about 2 minutes into freeze. I had to start a new cycle, show you how I was able to fix the water dripping out of the bin. So you still have the water dripping, but because I put a bead of silicone right there, it's dripping into the water trough instead of running down the sidewall and dripping into the bin. Let's see how long this thing takes to make ice, see if it drops. I've already wasted 24 minutes, so see what happens. So we just cycled into harvest. We're going to see if we can catch the drop. There we go, we got movement coming forward. Just finished up with that compressor replacement. Went pretty smooth. Machine dropped ice. I was a little concerned at first that possibly it was misdiagnosed and that it was just a bad run capacitor. After swapping out the run capacitor with one that I knew was good, machine still wouldn't work properly. The compressor was pulling high amps, overheating and shutting off. So what I did was, like I said, I just replaced the compressor like I was originally coming out here to do. Everything worked well after replacing the compressor. So I assume it was diagnosed properly. If you're looking for more information about ice machine service and repair, check out the channel, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Email me directly, icemachine411@gmail.com. Consider becoming a channel member or supporting the channel on Patreon. That would be super awesome, and I'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next video.